Hey you guys, it is Sunday, January the 10th. I wanted to share I want to say it was a dream, even though I was also shown some things that would be considered a vision as well. I would have to say when I woke up from this, my heart was really racing, and I just laid in the bed and was just praying and just asking the Lord to please let me be found worthy. Praying for my children, praying for my husband, praying for all my loved ones, because this was so intense. The feelings, the emotion of what I experienced, it just felt so real. It started out where I was in this house, and I just remember one of my cousins just came through the house and he said, did you hear the statement that Obama made? And I was like, no, what are you talking about? And he said, Obama just made an announcement that the signs in the heavens are about to begin. It was something to that effect. And as soon as he said that, my first instinct was to run to the window. And when I ran to the window, I looked through the blinds and I was looking up in the sky, and I could see this dark shadow falling down from the sky. And it was the image of a shark's mouth. And it was so strange because it was like as soon as I ran to the window, I saw this shadow. And it was just going like, it just went down like that. And then it hit this area that I was looking at. It hit the ground, and there was a puddle, or it was like a small body of water, and the shark was just swimming around in a circle, and it was just so angry. Like, it was just a violent type of behavior the shark was displaying. And I'm still watching this, and then I see these two horse. There were two horse that were just going at it with each other. And it was so intense. Like, as I was looking at this through the window, I couldn't take my eyes off of it, but at the same time, I could feel fear. I felt fear. And I'm watching this, and the horses, it was just so much anger and chaos and violence. I mean, they was just going at it. Like, they couldn't, I don't know how to explain it, but it was so intense. So as I'm watching this, all of a sudden I felt this huge urge to talk to the people that were in the house. And I was like, please, y'all come, everybody come gather around, because I have something important to tell you. And there were a lot of people in this house. There were children, there were older men and women, there were people that I knew, people that I didn't know. And so everybody started gathering around, and I began to tell them, I said, please, I need y'all to listen, because this is important. I said, something is about to happen, and it's about to happen now. And I could hear people just kind of still talking amongst themselves. And again, I asked them, I said, please, I need y'all to be extremely quiet. I need y'all to hear what I'm about to say. I said, because this is important. So everybody started getting quiet. And I said, you guys, I have been warning about this for years. And I said, something is about to happen, and it's about to happen now. And I said, this is what Jesus said would happen. And I started looking for a Bible. And I saw a Bible and I picked it up and I flipped through the pages. And I said, this Bible is real. I said, everything that is in this Bible is real. And then I said, in Matthew 24, Jesus told us what would start happening before he returns. And so I just began to cry out to them, and I said, please, if you are not saved, please give your hearts to him right now. I said, because you don't have any more time. I said, you have to do it now. I said, if you are not sure if you are saved, do it now, please. Because I knew, it was a knowing in this dream that time was up. Something was about to happen, and it was about to happen now. And so there were people who started crying out, and they were saying, pray for me. And I remember I grabbed them. I would just hold their face, and I would just begin to pray. And I was just believing God was saving these people. And one by one, I was praying for every person in their house. There were so many kids. There were so many adults. And they were asking me, pray for me. And so I got to the last person. No, let me back up. My kids were there. And my husband wasn't there. I was so concerned about my husband because he hadn't made it there yet. And I saw what was going on outside. I knew something was about to go down. And I was so concerned about my husband. I wanted to call him, but I'm like, I have to pray for these people first. My kids were there. And I prayed for my kids. You guys, this felt so real. And I grabbed one by one both my sons, and I just held them so close. And I was just thanking God for them, thanking God for allowing me thanking God for allowing me to have the time that I was able to have to be their mom. And I just held them so close. I held them so close. And I was just trying to take in every moment. Because I knew everything was about to change. And I just held him. And so I got to the last person, which interestingly ended up being my father-in-law, my husband's father. And I started talking to him, and I was saying, you have to give your life to him now, because we don't have time. You don't have time. Like, you have to do this now, like right now. Make the decision right now. I will pray for you. Please do it now. And he just kept making excuses. Like, he kept saying to me he didn't believe and he didn't know for sure. And I was so afraid for him, because I knew what was going to happen to him if he didn't make the decision now. And all of a sudden I heard a knock at the door. And I ran to the door and I asked, I said, "Who is it?" And they said, "The warden." And when I opened the door, it was my husband. And I remember I looked at him. It was like the first thing I noticed was his eyes. And his eyes had so much love. I just felt so much love when I looked in his eyes. And when I saw it was him, I just began to weep. I couldn't stop crying. I just got so weak, and I just fell to my knees, and I just wept. I felt so exhausted because I had just got through praying, and I was so emotional, and I knew that something was about to happen. And I just, in that moment when I saw my husband, when I looked into his eyes, it was like everything in me just, like all the emotions just drained. It just went through my body, and I couldn't even stand on my feet. I just fell to my knees, and I was just crying, and I woke up. You guys, I wish so much that when I share these with you guys, that y'all can fully see, fully capture, fully feel the emotions behind these dreams and visions. But you guys, all I can say to you all was, this was real. It felt so real. The emotion, the fear, just everything was real. And real quick, because this video is getting long, I went online and I was wanting to understand, what does shark mean? Why would I see a shark coming down from the heavens? A shark represents a symbol of a demonic force. Horse represents war. And for me to be told that Obama made a statement saying that the signs of the heavens were about to begin, something to that effect, I felt in my spirit to go to Luke 21. And in verse 11 it says, "And great earthquakes shall be in divers places, and famines and pestilences and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven." Now, that was a great sign that I saw coming from heaven, a shadow of a shark. And as it was coming down from the heaven, it manifested as a ferocious, violent shark that was just swimming fiercely in a circle in this round body of water. And also was two horses that were going at it, war. They were so angry, these horses. And I believe that the reason why I saw my husband, and why at first it said that he first acknowledged himself as the warden. I thought that was so weird. Why would he say warden? Well, when I looked up the word, let me look up the word warden real quick. I have my laptop right here. A warden is not just the head official of a prison, because that was the first thing that came to mind. A warden is a person responsible for the supervision of a particular place or thing, or for ensuring that regulation associated with it are obeyed. The head of. What stands out to me is Jesus Christ is the head of the church. In other words, he's the warden. He's the head. He's the head official of the church body. And the reason why I was so drawn to my husband's eyes and why I saw so much love, and I'm not saying that I don't feel love from my physical, my natural husband, but I believe my husband in the dream represents Jesus. I believe that Jesus came right on time, because like I told you guys, I knew something was about to happen, and it was about to happen now. And let me back up, because I left something out. As I was still looking out of this window, I could see this huge plane coming out of the heavens. I mean, it was huge. I mean, I was looking at it through the blinds, and I'm looking at this huge plane, huge, and it was white. And I could see the nose of the plane extending itself. And it was so huge, because it was like right there in my face. That's how big this was. And the nose of the plane started extending itself. And I knew, for whatever reason, I knew I needed to get down. And I told everybody, get down. And then I heard this loud explosion go off. I don't know if that was a bomb. I don't know if it was a missile. But that happened too. Before my husband came to the door. And so I believe that represented Jesus Christ. And that was the reason why I was so fixated on the eyes, because like I said, his eyes were so full of love. And when I saw my husband, I began to cry, and I felt weak. I couldn't stand up on my feet. I fell to my knees. This is what stood out to me. I went to Revelations chapter 3, where it talks about the church in Philadelphia. And it says in verse in verse 8, it says, I know your deeds. See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. I know that you have little strength, yet you have kept my word and have not denied my name. And then in verse verse 10, it says, since you have kept my command to endure patiently, I will also keep you from the hour of trial that is going to come on the whole world to test the inhabitants of the earth. That is what stood out to me. When I saw my husband, I immediately began to cry, and I was so weak. I fell to my knees. I couldn't stand up anymore. I was so drained. I can't explain to you. I was so drained. I could not stand. I fell to my knees and I was crying. And I believe the Lord was showing me that he came right before all hell broke loose. And I was crying from exhaustion because I was so tired, because I was doing the work of my Father. I was winning souls to the kingdom. Even at the very last of the last seconds, I was praying for people and getting them to turn their hearts to him. And so I believe that this was an urgent dream, you guys. And the urgency in this is to say something is about to go down, and it's about to go down sooner than we think. I cannot express to you all how real this felt. It was so real. So real. And I just had to share this with you all. I believe this year is going to bring about so much chaos and destruction and evil. I find it very interesting too that I had this dream on the night of my husband's birthday. His birthday was yesterday, January the 9th. January the 9th, his birthday was, and I laid down and I had this dream. So all I can say is I truly believe things are about to get really bad out here. And I pray, even when I woke up from this dream, I was laying in my bed and I was praying for everybody that I can think of. I was praying for you all, just praying and pleading with the Lord to please let us be found worthy. Please let us be found worthy to escape. Because I'm telling you, what I felt, the intensity of what I felt, I knew. You hear me? I knew something was about to go down, and it was about to happen now. And I could remember the faces of the children that I was praying for. I truly believe Jesus is coming very soon. He's coming very soon. And I pray that you guys are taking this seriously. I pray that you are making sure that your heart is right. Your heart is right. Because time is almost up. It's almost up. And I don't know what else to say. I truly believe that the Lord is warning us. He's warning us, letting us know He's coming. And He's close. So, I love you all. And if I receive anything else, I will make sure to let you know. God bless you. Bye.